My next guest is John Brubaker. He's a nationally renowned performance consultant and speaker. John's the author of numerous books, including Hollywood Book Festival award-winning Seeds of Success, The Secret Playbook of Coach Morgan Randall, The Daily Game Plan, and The Coach Approach. John, welcome to the show.
Great to be here with you, Barry.
So I love what you have here. You have something that's called the stadium status, and I always feel like, God, I want to be in that stadium, and I want to be like a celebrity. I want people to cheer me on. What is stadium status for a business person?
Well, that scholarly journal, Urban Dictionary, defines it as being a big enough star that you could fill an entire stadium when you're performing a concert. But I actually think stadium status is on some level a goal that lies within all of us, entrepreneurs, entertainers alike. And that's the desire to have your brand be known to the public.
And that everyone just knows that this is what your brand stands for. So, for example, UPS stands for reliability, delivery on time. Apple stands for innovation, right? It's those kind of things where, Kleenex, well, that's exactly what it is. It's not tissue, it's Kleenex.
Exactly, and the ability to really have that singularity of focus, to stay in your lane, if you will, and to be known for, one thing. And I think sometimes people forget, there are these iconic brands that actually are cautionary tales because they didn't stay in their lane. We don't think of cologne and perfume when we think of Harley Davidson, do we?
Well, they actually did come up with a cologne, but it actually failed.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. And McDonald's came out with a pizza for a period of time, but they're in the hamburger business. ESPN had the ESPN cell phone. And, I think that when you really achieve stadium status, you understand that you got to stay in your lane and be known for one thing.
It's interesting. So is this what you mean by when you say that someone should really do this narrowcasting rather than broadcasting?
But I think that narrowcasting rather than broadcasting both refers to your target audience, but also, I think we've gone beyond niching in business. We're really, this is the era of micro niching. You see it in podcasts, you see it in just the diverse product offerings that are out there. But narrowcasting is really focusing on your first few fanatics as opposed to the mediocre many. So you want to get your message out there to the people who love it the most as opposed to the masses. And the best example I could give you, compare two entertainers. And I think everybody either markets like one of these two entertainers. And the first being U2. And if you'll recall, a couple of years ago, U2 came out with their new album, and you woke up one morning, turned on your iPhone, and it was already downloaded in your iTunes account, whether you wanted it or not. Well, they were worried that their brand was on the decline. They hadn't released an album in a few years. They certainly hadn't toured. So they weren't sure it was really going to sell. So they just sold it to Apple and allowed Apple to give it away. And in the process, they really frustrated and annoyed a lot of consumers. It was something like 5 billion users got that album on their account and couldn't get it off. And it didn't really help them. I was a U2 fan, and it bothered me. I felt like my account had sort of been violated. And I think that's an example of broadcasting and selling yourself short. Whereas the other entertainer who narrowcasts and focuses on his first few fanatics is country star Eric Church. So I would encourage everyone listening, you want to be more of an Eric Church marketer than a U2 marketer. Because what Eric Church did when he released his new album, Mr. Misunderstood, last November, is he did a secret release before it came out to the public. And he gave away copies to every member of his fan club, affectionately known as the Church Choir. I know this because I'm a member of the Church Choir. It just arrived on my doorstep. The white vinyl record. Talk about being remarkable. And these are the very people that would have been the first ones in line to pay for it, but he gave it away to them to create that goodwill and that social equity. He didn't ask them to tweet about it and talk about it and recommend it. They did so happily. I think we could all stand to learn from that, as we need to be creating raving fans and advocates and promoters for what we have to offer. And it starts with our first few fans.
And this is really interesting, John, because it really is counterintuitive. Some people would say, why should I give away my product to the people that are naturally going to be the first to buy it?
Because it speaks to the law of reciprocity. Anytime someone does a kind act for us of any kind, we want to reciprocate and pay that back, or really pay it forward in this case. So the most valuable thing people can do is share the message for you. You know, it'd be one thing for me to come on air and tell you I wrote an awesome book. It's a totally other thing for 5 or 6 of your friends to tell you how awesome John Brubaker's book is. And that's what he's really done. You know, a lot of entertainers focus on the traditional advertising, press releases, press conferences, traditional media, where they beat their own drum. And what he did was he gave his loyal fans who purchased tickets and merchandise, he gave them a gift, and they became advocates for his brand.
Absolutely. Well, John, I appreciate being on the show. If you want to reach John, you can go to his website. It's coachbrew.com. John, thanks again.